Dear listeners, I welcome you to my channel. Leave your comments and impressions, I value your opinion. The hum of my laptop fans fills the air, a soft soundtrack to my late-night workbench. The windows to my left cast shadows from the moonlight, splitting the room into fragments of light and dark. I'm trying to stay focused on the project at hand, but my mind wanders, exhausted and craving distraction. That's when I see it, an unread email in my inbox, the subject line blank, sender unknown. Curiosity, that mischievous imp, prompts me to open it. There's a video attachment. No message, just a file named confession.mov. My pulse quickens with an undefined anxiety as I click play, the digital media buffering a moment before flooding my screen with its contents. The scene is dimly lit, the corners of the room shrouded in shadows, but the figures are unmistakable. My heart lurches into my throat as the woman on the screen, blonde and laughing, throws her head back with a familiarity that prickles my skin. It takes a split second longer to recognize her. It's me, but it can't be. I've never been in that room, never worn that shade of lipstick, never looked at any man the way I'm looking at him. Yes, you are just an alpha male. My previous lovers together can't compare with your skills. The woman coos. The voice is mine too, silky and filled with a seductive conviction I've never possessed. I slam the laptop shut, my breath caught in a painful hiccup. This can't be real. It's a fake, it has to be. But the seed of doubt plants itself firmly in my gut, sprouting vines of anger and betrayal. I pace around the room, each step thumping like a judge's gavel, declaring my verdict on the scene I'd just witnessed. How could this happen? Who would do this to me? I grab my phone, hesitating. Should I confront my husband, Derek? What if he's seen it too? What if he believes it? Instead, I dial my best friend, Melissa. She answers on the second ring. Jess, what's up? It's late. I need you to come over, I say, my voice a strained whisper. Now please. On my way, she replies, no further questions asked. By the time Melissa arrives, I'm a mess of nerves, my mind a whirlwind of potential scenarios and catastrophes. She doesn't speak, just wraps me in a hug that steadies my shaking hands. We need to find out who sent this, Melissa says firmly after I've shown her the video. Do you have any enemies? Anyone who might want to hurt you like this? I shake my head, lost. The video, it looked so real. And yet, I know it's impossible. We'll figure this out, Jess, Melissa reassures me, her determination a lifeline thrown into my turbulent sea of thoughts. I nod, clinging to her promise, yet inside, a plan begins to form. A brutal, burning need for revenge against whoever orchestrated this cruel hoax. I don't know how yet, but I vow to find out, to uncover the truth and retaliate. Because no one gets to destroy my life and walk away unscathed. No one. And with that fiery resolve igniting my spirit, I reopen the laptop, and together with Melissa, start to dig into the digital trail of my mysterious tormentor. Whatever it takes, I'm ready to fight back. Melissa and I are huddled over my laptop, our eyes scanning through lines of code and metadata attached to the damning video. Every click sends a ripple of hope and dread through me. Wait, look at this. Melissa points at a series of IP addresses listed in the email's properties. It's routed through multiple locations, but look at this one, local, very local. My heart skips. Local? As in, could be someone we know local? Possibly. Or at least someone who knows you well enough to pull this off. Melissa muses, her brow furrowed. Suddenly, the room feels smaller, the walls closing in as the implications of her words settle around us like a suffocating fog. Could it really be someone from my inner circle? My mind races through faces, friends, colleagues, acquaintances. We need a plan, I declare, my voice stealing with resolve. We should visit this address. See who's behind this. Melissa nods, her expression serious. I'll drive. Let's not take any chances. The ride is silent, both of us lost in our own thoughts. The address leads us to an inconspicuous office building in the heart of downtown. The dim streetlights cast long shadows, giving the place an eerie, deserted feel. We approach cautiously, our steps echoing in the empty street. The building is dark except for a faint light glowing from a second-story window. There I point, my heartbeat quickening. We find a side door, surprisingly unlocked. Inside, the air is stale, the only sound are whispered breaths and the soft tap of our shoes on the dusty floor. We ascend the stairs slowly, reaching a door ajar with light spilling out. Peering inside, I gasp. A bank of monitors lines one wall. Various feeds displayed, traffic cameras, public spaces, and chillingly, a live feed from what looks like my own living room. What the? Melissa starts but is cut off by a sudden movement from the corner of the room. A figure steps out, hands raised in a calming gesture. Jess, Melissa, please, let me explain. It's Eric, a colleague from my office. Shock roots me to the spot. Eric? What are you doing here? My voice trembles with confusion and rising anger. I'm so sorry, Jess. I didn't want you involved. This isn't what it looks like. Eric stammers, his eyes wide with a fear that mirrors my own. Start talking, Eric. Now. Melissa's tone is ice, her stance protective beside me. It was supposed to be a joke, a prank. We set it up, a few of us, from work. It was never meant to hurt anyone, he blurts out, his words tumbling over each other in his haste. A joke? My voice is sharp, incredulous. You think ruining my life is funny? Eric shakes his head, desperation etching his features. No, of course not. I didn't think. That's right, you didn't think. Melissa cuts in, anger flaring in her eyes. I step forward, my mind racing. Who else is involved, Eric? Who else knows about this? He hesitates, glancing nervously around the room. It's complicated. There's more to it. There's someone else pulling the strings. Before he can finish, the sound of sirens cuts through the night. Red and blue lights flash through the window, painting the room in stark, sweeping strokes of color. We need to go, Jess, Melissa urges, tugging at my arm. But I stand firm, my gaze locked on Eric. This isn't over, I warn him. The sirens grow louder, closer. As Melissa pulls me away, a new determination settles in my bones. This setup, this betrayal, it runs deeper than a cruel prank, and I will uncover it all, no matter the cost. The sirens wail like banshees as Melissa and I make our escape, darting through a maze of back alleys with the agility of fugitives. My lungs burn with each breath. But the adrenaline pumping through my veins pushes me onward. We need a place to hide, Melissa gasps, pulling me into the shadow of a crumbling brick building. Just for a moment to think. My mind races, piecing together Eric's fragmented confession with the chilling tableau of his surveillance room. Someone else pulling the strings, he'd said. Who, and why target me? Melissa's phone buzzes, slicing through my thoughts. She checks the screen, her face paling. It's a message from Eric. He says he wants to meet. He's willing to explain everything, but only to you, Jess. I hesitate, my instincts screaming caution. Where? An old warehouse on 5th. He says it's safe, that he'll come alone. The prospect of walking into potentially another trap sends a shiver down my spine. But then, the burning need for answers stokes my resolve. Let's go. But we're doing this on my terms. Melissa nods, understanding the unspoken message. I trust her, implicitly, what I need to face this, perhaps this part of it, alone. The warehouse looms ahead, an imposing structure of rusted metal and broken windows. The night cloaks it in eerie silence. I enter through a side door, Melissa waiting outside, hidden, just in case. Inside, the vast space is dimly lit by sporadic shafts of moonlight piercing through the skylights. Eric is there as promised, standing in the center alone. His posture is tense, a stark contrast to the relaxed colleague I once thought I knew. Jess, he begins, his voice echoing slightly. Thank you for coming. Start talking, Eric. Everything. Now. I demand, my voice steady despite the pounding of my heart. He takes a deep breath, glancing around nervously before his gaze settles on me. This started as a simple prank. But then someone found out. Someone who saw an opportunity to use it for their own benefit. They threatened to expose the video if I didn't help them. Who, Eric? Who is they? I pressed, inching closer. A man named Donovan. He works for a rival company. He wanted to discredit you, to get you out of the running for the Henderson project. It's worth millions, Jess. To him, you were just collateral damage. My mind reels. The Henderson project. A career-defining opportunity that I was leading at work. So this was all just business? Ruining my life for a contract? I'm so sorry, Jess. I never wanted any of this. I tried to pull out, but Donovan, he has something on all of us. He's dangerous. Where can I find him? My voice is a whisper, but it carries the weight of my newfound resolve. Eric scribbles down an address, pushing it across the floor towards me. Be careful, Jess. He's not what he seems. He's connected, powerful. I pocket the address, my mind made up. If you're lying, I'll be back, Eric. Stepping back into the night, the cool air feels sharp against my skin. I find Melissa, her expression anxious. Did you get what we needed? I nod, showing her the piece of paper. We're not done yet. We have a new target. Her eyes harden, the loyal friend ready to plunge back into the fray. Let's bring him down, Jess. Together, we move into the shadows, the moon our silent accomplice. The game has changed, the stakes higher than ever. But so is my determination. Donovan doesn't know it yet, but his reign is about to be challenged. And I am no longer just a pawn, I am the queen in this deadly game of chess. The address Eric gave leads to a sleek, glass building, a stark contrast to the grungy warehouses and shadowy corners of our recent haunts. Donovan's office sits atop this modern fortress, overlooking the city with unchallenged authority. Melissa and I survey the structure from across the street, hidden by the twilight shadows as we finalize our plan. Are you sure about this? Melissa asks, her voice tight with concern. I nod, resolute. It ends tonight, one way or another. We make our way to the building, bypassing the main entrance to avoid the security cameras. Using a back service door, we slip inside, cloaked in the anonymity of the service staff's uniform. The elevator requires a keycard, but I'm prepared, a replica from a quick pickpocket of a distracted employee earlier. Floor by floor, we ascend to Donovan's lair. Each ding of the elevator heightens the tension coiling within me. As the doors open to the top floor, we step into a world of opulence and cold corporate beauty. Donovan's office is at the end of a long corridor. The door is slightly ajar, voices spilling out. Melissa gives me a look, and I nod. This is it. I push the door open, stepping confidently into the lion's den. Donovan, a tall man with sharp eyes and a predatory smile, sits behind a massive oak desk. He looks up, surprise flickering across his features before his smile widens. Jessica, what a pleasant surprise, he purrs, standing up. To what do I owe the pleasure? You know why I'm here, Donovan, I say, my voice steady. It's over. His smile fades, replaced by a calculating look. Is it now? And here I thought we were just getting started. Melissa steps forward, her presence a silent threat. We know everything. The video, the manipulation, the threats. Donovan laughs, a sound devoid of humor. Oh, you know so much, but not enough, it seems. Before I can reply, the door swings open again. Eric walks in, a grim look on his face. My heart sinks. Has he betrayed us? Eric? I whisper, betrayal stinging my voice. He looks at me, his expression pained. Jess, I'm sorry. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. But not to betray you, he adds quickly, seeing the anger in my eyes. To help you. Confusion swirls inside me. What? Donovan chuckles, clapping his hands lightly. Oh, this is better than a soap opera. Go on, tell her, Eric. Eric takes a deep breath. Donovan didn't just stumble upon the prank. He orchestrated it from the start. But not for a business rival, not directly. He wanted to push you, Jessica. Push you to your limits, see how you'd react under pressure. My mind reels, trying to process his words. Why? Why me? Donovan stands, coming around the desk. His eyes gleam with an intensity that sends chills down my spine. Because you're exactly what I need for a partner, Jessica. Resilient, smart, resourceful. You turned a prank into a full-blown investigation, dodging obstacles, uncovering truths. I need someone with your talents. It's a moment before I can speak. A partner? I echo, incredulity lacing my tone. Yes, Donovan confirms. Consider everything a test. You pass with flying colors. Anger, relief, confusion. I feel it all. But underneath, a strategic part of me awakens. This man, this situation, it could be more than an end. It could be a beginning. I glance at Melissa, then back at Donovan. If I say yes, the game's end. We do this as equals. Donovan's smile returns, genuine this time. Exactly what I was hoping you'd say. As I shake his hand, sealing a partnership birthed from deceit but promising power, I realize the board was set from the start. In this game of chess, I was never just a pawn. Maybe, just maybe, I was always meant to be the queen. And with this surprising alliance, I step into a role I never expected, ready to reshape the game to my own design.